Welcome to Brilliant Minds and Beautiful Souls. I'm your host, Tess Booker, and I sit here with practitioners, healers, seekers, leaders, and authors to uncover the stories and strategies that bring emotional clarity and soul alignment. This is more than a podcast. It's a gathering of voices calling us back to what's real, what's possible, and what's waiting in you. Each episode is a conversation that'll leave you inspired, grounded, ready to rise. Let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of Brilliant Minds and Beautiful Souls. I love this conversation about social media and success. I have Diana Concoff Morgan with us as a strategist on how to win in social media for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. She's a published author, best-selling published author, an international speaker, and she has 30 years, including 2 successful businesses, which I'm really honored to have you here with this because, as we know, businesses go up and they come down, and 2 successful businesses is pretty fantastic. And so thank you for being here. Tell us where you're from, Diana, and let's get into this wonderful conversation.
Okay, I was in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area for 42 years, and I moved down to Southern California, Laguna Beach 5 years ago for the grandbabies and for my mom. So now I'm in Southern California.
I love it. Right here on my turf in San Diego, too. It's so fun. I'm really glad you're here. So we wanted to just really dive into this conversation, what we had talked about earlier in our personal conversations was it is really tough to be an entrepreneur with the AI dictating our voice, right? And everything being automated and trying to figure out where do we be authentic and where do we keep our voice in the middle of technology that's freaking amazing. But yet there's these holes of this automation that's not really, sometimes it's just difficult to express ourselves, right?
Right. And an interesting thing that you said that just hit me right in this moment is, the AI determining our voice. And there's one aspect of that, which is, going into one of the platforms and getting help with how to communicate, how to share your social media, what to say, all of that. But there's also, if you don't really take charge of your social media, the AI will post content for you and you won't even realize that it's done until it's already posted. So I just thought about that today. Like right when you said that, it's like, yeah, they do that too. But I mean, my focus for over 20 years has been how to grow an authentic online presence. And many, many years ago, I had the realization that the internet is really just a 24/7 networking opportunity, just like if you go to an in-person networking event. I was, at that time, I was like, I was building websites and doing SEO, and I was encouraging someone to, get online and do all that. And she said, and I think it was the very beginning of Facebook maybe, and she said, yeah, I'd rather just meet people and get, person to person. And I found myself just like, all of a sudden I was like, well, but it's the same thing on social media. It's just, you have the 24/7 opportunity and, everything is energy. So the goal is for us, we're all connected energetically. So the goal is to bring our energy on to social media exactly the way it would be as if somebody met us in person. And that is the thing, like you can't pay someone to do that. You can pay someone to do a lot of other things with your social media, but you can't pay someone to do that. And so the goal is, how do I really bring myself energetically to social media when, if I am confused, overwhelmed, exhausted, discouraged, hate it, all those things, because all of those things come up energetically too. So how do I show up as, oh boy, I get to meet some new friends and make some new connections and this is fun. And this is just like going to a networking event where I'm going to meet new people.
Well, and it's just interesting. Like there is a lot of aha moments in this conversation because I remember back with Facebook, I struggled with it because first of all, I thought that I had to comment for everybody and be available to everybody, or I didn't want to connect. I didn't even want to be on Facebook because of that
Right.
pressure of like, I have to talk to everybody. Because if I'm
Right.
in a room, and that's funny because if you go to a room, you're not talking to everybody. You're talking
Right.
to the one person that's in front of you. So energetically, that can get all mixed up, right? Like,
Right.
I'm an energetic person that loves to be present, loves to be with the person that I'm with. But what I found is I couldn't physically feel people in the room when I'm online. So it was a tipsy, like, mess with me kind of learning how to communicate energetically,
Mhm.
right? Online, because if I go into a place and I meet somebody, I'm gonna be dressed, I'm gonna be ready, I'm gonna, do the things. But when you're online, you're in your jammies, you're in your moments, and you don't think anybody can see that, but they can, right? There is energy,
Well, yeah, and maybe you're
right?
in your jammies on the bottom half, and maybe
Yeah,
you're in your camera ready on the top if you're on
exactly.
video, but if you're not on, not on video, I can understand that, what I like, so back to the networking event. So, you know, when I go to a networking event in person, I set a goal for myself. All right, I'm going to meet 2 or 3 people and I'm going to have fun. That's my goal when I go to a networking event. My goal is not to meet everybody. It's not to work the room. It's to meet a couple people, and maybe they're going to be friends. Maybe they're going to be networking partners. Maybe they'll be clients. Who knows? But I'm going to meet a couple people. I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to show up 100% and be present and have fun. And if you think about that on social media, like, so I'm going to just dive right into this um, exercise that I encourage every single person that I ever talk to do. So I'm going to give it to y'all here right now, which
That's
is
awesome.
to pick 5 people a week. It speaks to your comment, Tess, about having to talk to everybody. That's why people get overwhelmed. They
Yeah.
open up your social media and you go, what should I say? Well, I mean, okay, first of all, who are you talking to? And what is the thing that they need to hear from you right now that's going to cause them to lean in and say, like, oh, Tess gets me. Oh, Diana has the solution. Diana has expressed my challenges and has the solution to my problem, or a solution that I feel I could relate to. So that's the first thing, is you open up your social media. Instead of saying, what should I say? Ask yourself, who am I talking to? Just pick one person. Okay. So then what I recommend to people to do is stop scrolling. Okay. Stop the scroll. It's just painful. It's a waste of time. Stop scrolling. So what you want to do is pick 5 people a week. So who are these 5 people? They're people that that are active on social media, whatever platforms you're on. They're people that you can resonate with in their message, so that you want to share their content, they want to share your content. And they're somehow strategic partners. Either they are somebody who does what you do and you're both very different, so you would attract different people, or you both do something different, but you are targeting the same market, or they're a big influencer in your industry. So you pick these 5 people, and it's not picking people cold. It's picking people that you already know. Maybe they're in a networking group that you're in. Maybe they're in a Facebook group that you're in. You already know these people. You're already friends or connections. If you're on LinkedIn, start with your LinkedIn connections. If you're on Facebook, start with your Facebook, but go and connect with them on all platforms. Then what do? Well, first you go connect with them on all the platforms. Then you start caring about them, which means you're loving, commenting, sharing their content, lifting them up, showing interest, caring, which is connect, acknowledge, respond, and engage. So you're engaging with them. You're not promoting to them. You're not sending them a direct message with your thing or your free thing or any of that, because that's, even if it's free, it's still promotion. You could send them a direct message and tell them that you love their post, or that you would love to have coffee, Zoom coffee with them, or something like that. Or you could share about another networking event they might be interested in. But what you're not going to do is promote. So you're just going to get to know them, and you're going to do this, and then you're going to pick 5 people. So of these 5 people, 2 or 3 will play couple won't, then what the ones who do play, what you're going to see is you're going to see notifications from them like, "Oh, Tess liked my post." Because what do? When we see people engaging with us, we go and check them out because that's just what we do. Okay, so you're going to see people start to play. You're going to like your notifications. You're going to start seeing these people in your feed. This is how you get people to show up in your feed, not by putting ridiculous engagement bait posts like Brussels sprouts, yes or no. Okay, so so then the next week you pick 5 more people and keep playing with the ones who did play. Next week, pick 5 more people and do this each week so that when you open your social media, it's who am I talking to? Who are those 5 people? It's not this overwhelm where you click on something and I've fallen into Facebook and I can't get out, or you're in YouTube for 2 hours. It's intentional. And I'm going to add a piece to this, which is what I recommend to people is to take an hour a day to do this. Not an hour straight, but 15 minutes 4 times a day. Because then you're going to be getting the highest engagement. Because when you engage right after somebody comments and you continue that conversation, you get the highest engagement, even though I don't play the algorithm game. That is true. The other thing is that you're going to see when people are on. And there's nothing as satisfying as posting something and having someone comment on it right away. So that's the process. And when you start to do this process, your social media is going to accelerate and you're going to start to really see not only referrals and clients, but you're going to see you're going to really feel a different shift in your energy around social media, and you're going to start to love what's happening, and you're going to get a lot of opportunities as well. So, that's like an authentic social media online presence.
I love the intention, the authenticity, and the your first intention of just having fun. And so I think you're confirming some of the things that I've started. Like I wanted to be making some changes in my networking, and
Mhm.
I have just established a small group because I'm recognizing that, okay, 5 people, I don't need 50 people. I just need
Right,
5 intentional people to get to work with me once a month or whatever. And
mhm,
then to be able to take those 5 people and teach them how to do that for themselves. So I love that this is what you're
right.
doing, giving people a system that they can easily do without all the overwhelm. I know when I get in social media, I get distracted by 20 people's posts and I think I have to process all of those posts. And I think it becomes a
Right.
duty and it's no more fun. It's not fun,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
exactly, and it's overwhelming,
And it's
and
overwhelming and
and they're not necessarily the right people anyway.
exactly. Like, and I don't, and sometimes you don't know who those right people are because you haven't been intentional enough to get to know them and to see if they're even somebody that you know or like or trust. And I think a lot of I love this. It's bringing up so many things about, I think a lot of the platforms are changing right now
Mhm.
in the place that we're not getting to know anybody. And then just because we like something, we doesn't mean we know, and just because we know doesn't mean we like, right? And there has to be an integration of like, do we get on the networking groups to find out about people, or do we get on these networking groups just so we can add to our duties of who to connect to and who to make transactions with and which ones are right and which ones are wrong? It's no longer fun to be in a networking space as far as I'm concerned, right?
Well, right,
Unless
I
you're
mean,
in a group that is really actually transactional and authentic collaboration.
I hear you on that, Tess. I really do. And I've actually left a lot of the networking groups that I was going to for that exact reason. And I have found other ones. And one of the things I do, so I have 2 monitors. And while I'm in the group, I am actually connecting with people on my other monitor. If I meet somebody that I feel really connected to, I will go and immediately I click on their LinkedIn link or their Facebook and I go and connect with them immediately. I let them know, and I have a spreadsheet that has everybody who I want to connect with their name on it, and I know that I want to follow up with those people. So maybe I'm in a networking group with 50 people, and maybe there's 5 or 6 people that I really resonate with their message. And honestly, and this is back to this energetic thing. What am I resonating with? I'm resonating with their heart, with their energy, with how they say what they do. I'm resonating with their energetic presence. And whether we know it or not, many people, like I know that that's what I'm resonating with, but many people don't realize that. But that's what causes you to keep, when you're on your phone and you're scrolling, that's what causes you to just scroll past or to pause and lean in. And everybody, I want you to notice as you're scrolling and as you're watching, you're online, what causes you to lean in? Like for me, I will not if I don't feel it, I'm not going to respond to a post. If I don't really feel it, if it doesn't cause me to lean in somehow. I mean, if it's somebody I care about and they're sharing a success, I'm going to comment. But if I feel like it's just, oh, I have to say something on social media, what should I say? And, it just doesn't resonate with me, and I've learned I just kind of like, bless them and keep moving on. And now I've been doing this. I mean, I did the picking 5 people. I've been doing that essentially. I didn't used to call it that, but that's what I've been doing for like 20 years. So that's how I built. I got my book up to #1 bestseller on Amazon and got 70,000 views of free organic reach by doing that. By asking like 100 people, "Hey, will you share my book?" And hey, will you share this on your social media? And will you get it on the 99-cent day? And it's like it's because I have all these connections. And I have all these, pretty much for me, my friends are at least, they're not more than 2 degrees in separation. So I either know them or I know like 100 or 200 people that they know. I don't just friend anybody. If somebody asks for a friend request, I will go and see who they are. I don't just accept it, and I've always been that way.
Well, it's authentic. You want
Right,
your voice to be heard, and it's self-expression and being able to have an exchange with somebody who wants that too. It's
right,
reciprocation of giving and receiving and walking into a room or walking into social media and being curious,
right.
right? And having
Exactly.
having curiosity run the show rather than your task running the show. I love that you can sit in the networking and you're listening and you're engaging, and then you're over here, like you said, on your other screen going, who do I want to contact in this group?
Mhm.
And are they somebody that I feel that resonates? But it takes a pause, right? Diana, like really, I'm a feeler too, and not everybody takes the time to actually feel, because even if you feel the feeling of, "Oh my god, I don't like what that person's saying, or I'm not resonating with that." That's information for you,
Yep. Yep.
right? It's information like, "Ding, ding, ding, do I need to do
Yeah.
anything with this?"
And hey, you know what? They get
Right?
to be who they are.
And
And
letting
and I
and giving
yeah.
space for somebody to have their voice, and it doesn't have to be personal to you, but we get caught in all of that.
Well, and I wanna comment on something else that you said, Tess, which is you said, I just need my 5 people, like my small group. You're
Mhm.
talking about your small group. So each of us is only 6 degrees of separation away from everybody in the world, right?
Yeah,
So
you hear
and
that, you know?
in our theoretically, I mean, I choose to believe it. It makes sense. It's been my experience, even less than 6 degrees. And theoretically, each of us, our tiny little itty bitty network of influence is like around 50,000 people. So my question is, like, how many people do you really need to have a thriving business? Or how many people do you really need for whatever your cause is on social media? If it's not business, maybe it's a cause, maybe it's, whatever it is. So you have to think about that. And if you're so my mission is to raise the consciousness of social media so that we can use social media to raise consciousness and elevate humanity. So even if your purpose on social media is about raising consciousness and elevating humanity, if you're coming from that place, your message is going to be heard and it's going to spread. As opposed to, like, a lot of people, they see social media as an opportunity to sell, when it's really an opportunity to inspire people to take action on whatever that thing is that you're inspiring people to take action on, you know? And so if you think of it that way, that you're there to give, you're there to offer. I mean, you're there to share what you do. And, like, for example, I am there for inspiration. I love all the quotes and all the little inspirational things. I love all those things. I look at those things in the morning and they give me joy, you know? I mean, I think some people almost won't let themselves, because it's Facebook, or because it's Instagram or whatever. But I mean, I think, like Ralph Waldo Emerson said, every sweet hath its sour. And I think the internet, yes, it can be the most annoying thing that ever walked the face of the earth. And it can be this thing that we wish it would all go away. And it can be a powerful force for positive change in the world, where a person can promote. If you're promoting a business, you can promote your business, and you can promote your cause, your goals, your values, your mission, and help to contribute to the healing of the planet.
I love that you're just using the and space, right? There is contrast. There is a place of receiving and there's a place of giving. And I think when that gets totally twisted in you only giving what you know, what you know, what you know, and you're not accepting what you don't know or receiving something that's going to benefit both parties. Like, it's this collaboration. I started thinking about, we all want unity in the world. We want all this unity of us understanding one, collectively. We all want to understand love. I think that's the
Mhm.
main unity we're really looking for. But we want unity in our families and our relationships and we're looking for unity. But there is no unity that doesn't come with pure collaboration because someone has to receive and someone has to give. And
Right,
depending on where you're at in that relationship, it's the same. You're giving and receiving at the same time. It's right?
right,
It's
exactly.
doing your business and doing a mission. And when you can, like you said, I'm curious about your perspective on because we're back. I want to go back to that. Like, you only need 5 people and there's only 6 people. So, why are we chasing? There's the question that I'm always a why, getting all the thousands of people to get the one, or the 10 or the percentage. Like, there's this theory that, well, it's a numbers game, 1 out of 10, and we're always trying to reach that 10 or that 1,000 to get the 100 or to get the 100,000 or that whatever that number is of what we think our business needs. I'm curious of how you work with that idea.
Um, that's interesting. Nobody's ever asked me that before. Huh? Nobody's ever asked me that before.
No one's ever
It's
asked you that before?
Yeah,
I'm thinking that if you just go out with this intention, the people will come and you don't have to look for the thousands of people to get the 10. They're just
right. That was
everything's
what I was gonna say.
available, right? But we have this thing where we have to work through the numbers. Like, I know
Right.
that that's like this, it is a thing, right?
Well,
Algorithm.
a lot of the past of social media, the past message has been that, the more likes and comments and follows you have, the more successful you're gonna be. And so, like, even in the beginning, people would actually buy likes on Facebook. You could pay to get people to, like, fake likes. But
Yes, I
but
remember that season, right?
soon after, we all realized that You can have 10,000 people that like your page, but if they're not the right people, you're not getting anything from it. And you can have 500 people that like your page. And if they're the right people, you could have a thriving business from that. And that's the thing, is that it's really about attraction, and it's really about putting yourself out there. That's the crucial thing for me about the authenticity, and about energetically putting yourself out there in a way that attracts people to you. So it's like, it's not about numbers. It's about really putting yourself out there authentically and clearly as who you are. It's about being the most clear, your you're having your message and your brand be so clear that people know who you are and what you're about, and being consistent. Because basically, excuse me, you have 2 seconds to engage people. When someone lands on your social media, you have 2 seconds to engage them before they're going to hop onto something else. And so that's where the lean in comes in. It's like, what can I put out there of myself that is going to cause people to lean in, pause, and take that next step to just even explore who I am and what I bring. And so if all I'm doing is posting, different stuff all the time, and I'm posting buy this and buy that, and jokes that have nothing to do with my brand and politics, then people aren't going to know who I am. But if everything I post is in my lane, on brand. So if I post a joke, it's on brand. If I post a quote, it's on brand. If I share content, whatever I share, I like to say, it's in my lane. So that when you land on my social media, like, I want to encourage whoever's listening to, when someone lands on your social media, what are they going to learn about you? What message are they going to get about who you are? My goal is that people get the message that I care, that I'm a person that comes from my heart, that I really am committed to raising consciousness around social media. So it's like, it's not about pumping out posts anymore. I always say, like, when I ask people, like, "Oh, how's your social media going?" And most of the time people say, "Oh, I'm just posting, 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 and I'm not getting anything from it." And here's my goal. Here's my vision. Okay, I'll share this with you. My vision is that when I say, "How's your social media going?" you would say, "Well, I'm connecting with people. I'm making relationships. I'm building my brand. I'm really feeling I'm loving social media, and I'm getting so many different opportunities and leads and referrals and connections." That's my goal. And that is something that happens when people implement the strategies that I teach.
Oftentimes, Diana, simplicity does that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Simplicity takes away the noise so that you can actually see where it's bringing momentum, right?
Right.
Because if you have all the noise, you're not even hearing you're not even seeing the shifts, you're not seeing the changes, you're not seeing the opportunities because you're so wrapped up in what you think you need to be doing, and energetically just task, 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 task. I would love to see where people just stop efforting, and they actually become having fun, and it becomes easy because they're not efforting so much, right?
Right, and when you have all that noise, people don't see you
Right.
either,
So
because it's just all the blah. I call it all the blah blah.
all the blah blah, like it that's a good word to say. It's just a bunch of like, what are you saying? And it
Right,
just becomes like those clanging cymbals. It just is loud, and you're not even able to see or hear or resonate with the person you're communicating with because you're so worried about everything else and not what actually matters in
right.
that, which is people.
Right. I mean, when I'm on social media in that hour, in that I do more than 15 minutes because it's a highest and best use of my time. So when I'm on social media myself doing, because I have a VA who he posts. I find the content, I write, I create all my own content, or approve it, and then he posts and schedules and all that. So all my time is spent on being me on social media. And my time, that 15 or 20 or 30 minutes 4 times a day, is spent very much behind the scenes in the sense of it's not posting, it's connecting, it's conversing, it's having conversations. And that is where I make those connections. And that is what is it makes it satisfying. You don't feel this like overwhelm, and you just feel like, oh, that was a really great conversation. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed getting to know Tess Booker better. It's like that's the difference between just that whole pumping out posts and what should I say versus I have these people that I follow and I engage with, and I know if I go to their platform, I'm gonna find some interesting conversation to join in on.
And no AI can replace that because
That's right.
just words and words without intention aren't life. There's no life
Right.
behind it. And honestly, we can tell
Yeah.
when it's not authentic anymore. It might be your voice the AI says, back to this AI conversation. You may get more clear using AI, but now take that, what AI said, and put it
Right.
into some kind of intentional, oh yeah, that sounds amazing to me. I'm going to tweak that to be a little bit more me. Like, it doesn't mean don't use AI. It just is the intention has to be behind the words. It can't just be words.
Right. Well, I always tell people never put anything straight from AI onto your social media. I love AI because, like I always say, everybody's good at either the beginning, the middle, or the end. Okay. I suck at the beginning. I'm good at the middle and the end. But often I will sit on my computer and just the beginning, I'm just like, oh God, I don't know what to say. So I will put something into AI. I'll get like a jumping off point. And from there, I will take that and tweak it and infuse my voice and make it my own. Some people, they get all that and then they like, okay, I need the middle. Or some people, I need the end. Or some people, I need all of it. But I never will put something straight from AI into my social media. But it does accelerate my process of creating content. It definitely does. But it's not, it's a tool. AI can never replace us. It can cause us, it can amplify who we are. It can amplify our message, but it can never replace us. And so, it's never going to replace humans in the sense of creativity, in the sense of authentic voice.
I love that. I love how you said there's a beginning and the middle and the end of how we operate. I'm the visionary. I always have the good ideas. Okay, tell me what that middle and the end or the
See?
end looks like because I see it already, but it's the how to and the what's the AI is so good, but I have the inspiration. Like I have the
Right,
idea. It comes from there and often like you said, yeah, you need to be inspired. It's a tool. What place in your process do you need a little bit of help with? It's not a problem to ask for help. We don't know what we don't know. But
right,
when we decide that somebody knows better or something knows more than we do, now you're out of your own self-expression at that point,
right,
right? Because you are not in that you have more capacity than what you think to hold that kind of self-expression. It's just you learning how to communicate it well, right?
right,
And I
right. And
love that.
and you have to infuse your own voice. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely, because it's you. Who else is going to be
Right.
you? No one, right?
Nobody. Right.
And you are here with a purpose. You have a voice, you have something to offer, and you have something to receive. And I love that you've taken social media to raise consciousness. I mean, wow, technology used to raise consciousness is like the most. I mean, that's what this whole show is about, taking the technology,
Yeah.
taking the executive what's and hows and applying them to a broader um, movement that's happening with or without you. It's to
That's
you
right.
just need to
Yep.
see where you align
Yeah.
in
It's with or without you, it's like that's the
abundance,
thing. Well,
right?
I have this story in my book about that I went through 3 rounds of Really God Facebook because, like, I have this very spiritual background, and I have a master's degree in holistic health education and counseling,
Right.
and I did marriage prep and relationship coaching and spiritual weddings and ceremonies for 20 years, and I have that whole life, and then I have, like, my inner geek, and that's how Whole Heart happened. Was I married the 2 of those in 2008 and created Whole Heart Marketing. But still, when originally it was, building websites and SEO, but when Facebook came around, first I got onto what MySpace to stalk my kids. But when social media came around and it was like all about Facebook, at the beginning, I was excited. And then I was like, "Oh god, this is awful." And then, I went through 3 rounds of, like, "Really, God? Facebook?" Because I tried to walk away from it. I don't wanna be the Facebook queen, and I don't wanna be the person that teaches everyone about Facebook, and, oh my god, this is so not me. But I'm a visionary, and I'm a leader, and my visionary brain said, "This is the way that we communicate now." And underlying everything in my mission is communication, and it's like, this is how we communicate now. So it is up to you to bring heart to social media and to communicating in this way. And but the third round was not that long ago, to be honest. It was because it was just I finally just accepted it. It was like, okay, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I think it's time for me to just, like, really embrace that this, like, social media chose me. This calling chose me. And I then accepted it, should I decide to accept. And I have it once I really did surrender and accept it, everything has started to open up around all the different ways that we can use it to raise consciousness.
And I think that is exactly why we are here together because I resonate
Mhm.
with I am a leader and a visionary. Yeah, and so, I did the really God moments too, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners, they did these really God moments, right? Really
Yeah,
God?
I re
Um, and until you settle in and you go, "Wow, I spent so much time in my own processes in the emotional space and chased numbers so that I could find absolutes." And to
Right,
come back to go, "Oh, emotions are absolute," right? And it's just so funny how those 2 things that how we chase the knowledge
right.
to come back to what we already know.
Yep,
It's so like, it's fascinating to me instead of
yeah,
and I've learned to, like, it's okay to not know and then to use the knowledge to confirm what you do know later,
right,
right?
right,
You
exactly.
don't have to chase knowledge. You don't have to chase knowledge so that you can be something. You chase knowledge to confirm who you are,
Mhm.
right?
Exactly. Right,
Totally a
exactly.
different upside down
Yeah,
consciousness
exactly. Yeah, I love
of
that. That's a
business
great
and
yeah,
being responsible for everything,
right,
which
right,
social media brings up that anxiety to be everywhere at the same time with everyone. It's just not. It's not a thing.
right, right, and that being said, I wanna dispel a couple of other myths, if it's okay. One myth is you don't have to be everywhere.
Right?
You could be on Facebook and LinkedIn and have a thriving business.
Yeah.
Pick if you're somebody who's not on anything right now, pick the one that you resonate with the most and get really full up and running on that one, and then try adding another one. I do recommend Facebook and LinkedIn as a good combo, but, if it's Instagram, you can't just have an account, a business with Instagram, a campaign. You have to pick at least one other one with Instagram, and unless you're gonna pay a ton of money for ads. But, and I do recommend YouTube to people. YouTube is, like, really it's not exactly a social media platform, but it is a great way to get your message out, and I'm building my YouTube channel currently. But the other thing that I wanna say, and this is, like, some people that are listening are gonna, like, drop their shoulders and loosen their stomach and take a deep breath, is, like, you don't have to be that person to be on social media. Like, you don't have to be the person that does all those crazy videos. You don't have to be the person that posts every day. You don't have to be anything other than your own authentic self. to be successful on social media. And that is something that I really want people to hear because many, many people do this whole thing. Well, I can't do that. I can't do those kind of reels. I can't do that kind of, I can't be all crazy like that. I'm that person. And that is something that kept in the way of me getting myself out there on video was like that. I can't do that. My big one was, I can't be on video if I don't want to wear eye makeup and all that makeup. And men don't have to wear all that makeup and do their hair and all that stuff, right? And I just finally surrendered and said, like, okay, my message is more important than all of that. And that's what I want to say to people is like your message matters, your voice matters. And you just get your voice out there. You don't have to entertain. You can get your voice out there and be real. And one more thing I want to say about that. So a lot of people are like, you know, well, nobody sees my stuff. I feel invisible. Just because people aren't liking, commenting, or sharing your content does not mean they're not seeing it. And if you want to know if they're seeing it or not, post something really deep and real. And you will see people come out of the woodwork to comment on your stuff. Okay. What about your birthday? On your birthday, don't you notice like all of a sudden you have exponentially more likes and comments, right? Where were all those people? They're watching your stuff. So if you posted that level of depth, and it doesn't mean you have to be too vulnerable or overexposed, but if you posted that level of depth and authenticity as your birthday or something real like that matters to you, you will start to see the people liking, commenting, and sharing your content.
It's amazing. I really appreciate your expertise and thank you so much for being here. I want everybody to know that you'll be able to find Diana on kfred.com in the forums to gather her information. And of course, we are on all platforms. So you'll be able to connect with Diana, and I hope that you do. And uh, as we go out in live, there's also places to comment. Um, so just know that we are available for conversation outside of this call. And yeah, blessings. And is there any last things you want to say before we close this out, Diana?
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much for having me today, Tess. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and I've enjoyed being on this podcast today. And to people who are listening, what I really want to say is your voice matters. And we are all here at a crucial time on the planet, and the healing that each of us brings is crucial to the healing of all of us. So don't let anything stop you from getting your message out because your voice matters.
Yeah, I love that. And the two of us, I just back that up and agree fully with that. And until next time, be blessed.